Hey everybody, this is Glenn here at H2O Studios, high above Public Square on a gorgeous Saturday, and we're here with very special people. But first, that's me, that's Josh Kirnie. This is our fifth, or actually sixth episode. We talked about what before, Josh, before this?
We were talking in our last episode about casual hypnosis and how hypnosis and hypnotic suggestion surrounds us at all times. Mm-hmm. And how when you take charge of that fact and actually take initiative with the suggestion you receive and the things that you want, it changes your life quite easily, especially when you can open your mind to taking instruction, knowing that you don't know what you don't know, and that's okay, and following through with the picture in your mind that is of exactly what you want.
Because you're fun-loving girls and you have a lot to talk about. But at the end of the day, obviously, we want to be serious about hypnosis and this casual thing you've been talking about. So this is part two. Is that correct?
Right. We're going to talk about how casual the things that we are doing, how natural the things that we do with hypnosis, we accomplish with hypnosis and NLP. And NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming, which is just the nerdy way of saying, I already lost the other side of the table with that. Did you say I just said one thing and that they were just bored instantly? So I'll make it better.
Right.
Sorry,
so it's brain language.
Police officer over
right.
there.
See,
My bad.
instantly.
Wondering if he was single.
Yeah.
So we're talking about brain language and the way that you use success languages in your mind before it happens in your life. So it's a natural thing, and it's casual because it happens day to day, whether you're aware of it or not. That's what we're talking about. And we're talking about casual leverage today, how easy it is for you to influence a situation due to the way that you carry yourself, and especially the way that you groom yourself or look, or the image you've created for yourself.
Interesting.
Well, I'd be getting a lot of haters.
Yeah.
So that's natural is for you to, whenever somebody looks good or shows acumen or shows ability, or comes off a certain way, for people to dislike them. About no matter who you are, Cass, no matter who you are, 10% of the people that are around you are going to dislike you immensely for literally no reason.
Yeah, just
there's
your
nothing you
looks.
can do about it.
Just because.
Yeah, and often, again, in this world, and we're not here to talk about this, but it's envy, it's jealousy, and in a small town like this, when there's a ratio of 3 men to every woman, that
but
probably,
you're still stalking my profile.
Right. Yeah, well, but again, and that's okay because, Josh, are we built to be jealous in our lives? I mean, it's a cardinal sin, right? So, God talked about this, years
I can
ago.
speculate.
Okay.
What I can say is, from my angle, when I see it, is that there are certain aspects to life that create competition. And if you want to ask maybe a scientist, a biologist, an anthropologist about it, that certain people want to compete to keep getting things forward in their life, like they want to evolve a certain way, right? So in our line of work, we're taught very early on that women are natural competitors, always.
Very much so.
So like men, guys, everyone listening or watching, you don't matter nearly as much as you think you do.
No, you're right. You're right.
You don't. So when a woman walks in a room,
Good point.
Despite any kind of contention this creates, when a woman walks in the room, the first thing she does is compare herself to the other women in the room. The guys could be covered in anything. They could be in tuxes or
That's
in
true.
shorts.
That's true.
It's 100% true.
But I don't think
Go for it. Shoot.
for me, like, it's not like, oh, I just want to see, like, whatever. It's like, who else is more attractive? Like, who else is attractive?
would
I don't
agree,
look
yeah.
It's nobody
Yeah.
else is attractive, usually.
It's just you. What happens if you both enter the room at the same time?
Right.
So that's
But I'm
like,
going to love her,
I
right?
know, and then we'd make a lot of boys very sad.
in my estimation, when you talk like that, and I do believe that 100%, is in addition to that, because from generation to generation, that competition has been a relay race for hundreds of thousands of years.
Right.
So in order to survive a more mature level, you've got to be able to connect to those folks that you would be normally at a lower level competing with. So men, on the other hand, I mean, for some reason, well, there's a lot of reasons we could go into, and I don't know if we could go into it today. When men are together and they're operating correctly, they're actually collaborating. And here's a thing too. I got to talk to you about this, Glenn.
Sports has a lot
Talk
to
to
do
me.
with it.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Talk.
So the reason why in the military for years we had male-only units didn't just have to do with the fact that physically men are normally stronger and able to deal with more physically.
Sure.
It's because men are natural collaborators, women are natural competitors. However, when you add one woman
Right.
to a unit of how many men,
Right.
They'll slit each other's throats.
Yeah.
they instantly
you're right.
become competitors. And
Right.
when you have a competing faction inside of a unit that has a goal in mind that's very important, I mean, that all the efficiency goes out the window.
Can I say this?
Sure.
It's the same with adding another guy to the conversation. All of a sudden, the two can gang up. But you and I can hang out here for hours, and a third guy can come in here, and all of a sudden, you or me would gang up and whichever. So it's a human thing. It's not just a
hope
sex
not.
thing. Well, I'm not saying it that way. But busting your
here's what I'm
balls
saying.
or
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
something. Hey, you know what he said earlier? And all of a sudden, I was like, wait,
But that's not how we're designed.
Yeah.
That's how we've been conditioned. So, I mean, if you think about it, 5,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, when our collaboration, the fact that our collaboration existed only meant that we could continue to survive, you better believe we were going to collaborate, not compete. That's the key. So women are natural competitors, men are natural collaborators.
A lot of it to do with sports and army and
That
getting
helps,
together to
yeah.
beat the adversary. From our caveman days when you had to beat the other tribe and so forth. So we collaborated with
Right.
those that we knew that were strong enough to do it. So we had to get along with one another.
So that's how we evolved. Also, I'd like to say that I do get a bit irritated. I've kind of abandoned spectator sports for other things.
Political reasons.
That too, and plus I have very limited time on my hands. But I do not really enjoy women that commentate on men's sports. It just
I
drives me
agree.
crazy.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there to get away from the fact that I'm getting a running commentary on life. I don't want more, right?
Yeah, and it's also the girl that has something to prove, that feels the need to penetrate the boys' club. Look at me, look what I can do.
I'm going to be penetrated by the boys.
Well, and not only that, but now we have men. Now we have men entering girls' sports because they don't know if they're a man or a woman, and they're kicking ass and all this stuff. And then you have
Because I can't compete against guys.
Yeah, that's it.
then you have Navratilova, exactly. And then they're still men. They were born that way. And then you have professional people like not Navratilova, sorry, Billie Jean King,
Oh, yeah.
who actually wants this to happen, which is amazing.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, that's another story altogether. Sorry.
So leverage and the ability to know what the connection means and what you can accomplish when you step outside yourself and see how people are reacting to you. And naturally, these two women across the table from us,
Yes.
they don't realize it. And this is tragic, but it's in a certain sense, their lives can become much, much easier when they put certain aspects of what they believe about themselves or their emotions on the side and just exercise their ability to manipulate a situation the right way, I hope.
What's the
towards-
right way?
Well, not for selfish gain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So because of the way that they look, their ability to speak, right, the way that their affect is, those are all just really positive qualities. So when you look a certain way, when you come off a certain way, when you have a certain energy, right, when you project yourself a certain way, depending on how you're doing it, you're going to find personal power in the fact that people are automatically going to want to follow what you say. So in hypnosis, that's important because you have to, if you're a hypnotist, if you're a change worker, you're somebody that's helping somebody, you've got to look and act a certain way in order for people to follow through with what you're saying and take you seriously. So you'll notice, and sometimes, and I realize it didn't get received very well. I was in here with a shirt and tie probably because I was working that day, right? In the clinic down the street. North Country Hypnosis, 315-432-1514.
Little plug there, huh?
Free screening, 315-432-1514. So when you have that affect and you have that happening in a setting, especially one-on-one, even in certain groups, right? And you can carry yourself a certain way, which we can get into in a moment if it's appropriate, then people are going to instantly start wanting to follow your instructions. And then they trust your instructions because not only do you look a certain way, like you know what you're talking about, or you affect them a certain way, right? By the way you present yourself, but because you have evidence around you of many people that have done the same for years and years. So you build almost like a consistency, a consistent rapport with the local area by other people from the local area knowing, believing, and following through. So when you look the way that they do, they don't realize it. Neither one of them realizes this all the way, right? No. And I've actually preached this to you for the last 2 or 3 days. You can literally, if you carry yourself the right way and keep everything that you go through in perspective, you can literally have the area at your heels. Of course, we're not going to help you do that unless you agree to make sure that anything that benefits you benefits the people around you as well.
Got to use your power for good.
That's right. You have to dovetail things. We talked about dovetails before. And if you guys would click on the dovetail thumbnail, you'd notice that Michelle is on that thumbnail. That is the lovely Michelle. So that is leverage from the way that you look and carry yourself, your energy, and that all comes from, at the core, an outcome that would benefit them, and you know it.
Ladies, you agree with that?
Casual leverage.
Casual leverage.
No,
Michelle, explain.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, this is something that I struggle with, is that, and what I do.
That used to be true, right?
I still feel that way sometimes. I know
I
the
think it
material,
used to be true,
and
though, right?
I know what I know that I know. I have this great knowledge base of wanting to help people, and I mean, I know exactly what to do by the book. And sometimes I'll get in front of somebody and I'll be like nervous about it, like, and that's it. It's I need to enact my own leverage to get them the best result and get them, to be healthier and happier and stronger. And
But that's,
everything else.
wouldn't you say that that's normal? I mean, that's what you strive to do. You do this every day, and you don't want to, if the job is worth doing, it's worth doing well. So you adhere to that, right? Right, Michelle?
I mean, it sure is. That's just, just as we were talking about, it's sometimes hard to get out of the whole deer in the headlights thing when you're on the spot.
So let's talk about this right now, because
You're
this is a
absolutely
good
right.
point right now, right? And wanting to get it all out at once does work. It doesn't really work as well as just finding one simple thing and following through with it, right? Like, plus, you want to hold your cards closer to your vest a little bit. I mean, you being an enigma, you have mystery, you having that mysterious vibe and holding on to it, that's going to create the change and attract the people that are going to want your help much quicker. If you just have it that simply, that one thing, right? You don't want to give it all away at once. I mean, people already know you're smart by the way you hold your mouth and the way that you speak and say words. So I want you to imagine right now, right? You're 2 steps down the road, and imagine the way it feels when these things are working for you and those things you used to struggle with are in your past. Can you imagine how that feels right now?
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Where does it feel? Pretty good.
Right here in my chest.
Right in your chest?
Yeah.
So physically, how would you describe that feeling? Is it soft or warm? Or
it is.
hot,
It's
or-
warm. It's tingly. Like when I feel like I'm
So
in the
it's
zone.
warm and tingly. Yep, it's warm and tingly. Just stay with me.
Okay.
On a scale from 0 to 10, how intense is that feeling?
It's really relaxed. It's, I don't know, 4.
So with that feeling of success, if you turn that up, like on a dial, if you felt that feeling in your chest, that tingly feeling in your chest turn up on a dial, could you do that? And is that a positive response?
Yeah.
Right? So the tricky part here is that all Michelle needs to do is thank herself for doing it what she would in the past consider wrong first, but do it the way that she used to do it. And thanking herself for that will allow her to move forward into the future, into that feeling you can feel too if you really want to.
Oh, I do.
And if you do that, if you can thank yourself, which is the hardest part, because some people think it's just admitting you're wrong, but it's not wrong because, as we said, it's just the next step to exactly what you want. So what you want to do is when you can thank yourself, can you do that?
Yeah, I can.
So when you can thank yourself, and people watching this right now know that when you can thank yourself for the way it used to be, your unconscious mind will generate new ways to get what you were getting from that. But you have to appreciate the way it was to move into the future.
Yep.
And sometimes a person might take 15 or 20 minutes to ponder this or let it go into the background and start the change. And some people start the change immediately. And some people to finish the change might take hours or even a day or two. I know when I finish change or have an epiphany, I don't know why this happens. It's just some way I picked it up. It will be when I open my eyes first thing in the morning, the next morning. It will all occur to me that those things have settled in. So just right now, what would it be like if you could imagine having that new physiology and it following through all the way to having that new power, almost like a superpower, to be able to level with it. Now, guys, real quick, close your eyes for me. Close your eyes. Good. Now, I want you to go out into the future. Wait, open your eyes real quick. You're still here with me, right? Okay,
Yes.
close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to go out into the future to a time that's most appropriate. Maybe maybe 6 or 7 days out in the future, a time that you used to react the old way that's now most appropriate to the change, and notice how you react. Yes? Good? That test is good? Now imagine a second time in the future when you go out into the future and there's something that's happening that's like really hectic around you. Not necessarily bad, just lots. There's lots happening around you. And notice how you react. Good? And a third time when you just feel this overwhelming sense of being charming. And at the same time, something is a complete surprise. And with those three things happening at once, close your eyes. Notice how you react. Yes?
Yeah.
So once you have those into your future and you have that new feeling solidly into your future, once you have those things that you want and you see yourself at this next almost upgraded version of yourself as it responds to helping people out or connecting or dovetailing and being calm, almost rationing and putting more power into the little bit that you give because it's so precious. Once you have that, you can open your eyes and come back to now.
Oops.
You snapped your fingers, so.
It happens. So,
Damn.
how does that organic drink taste to you? How does that feel? How does that taste? Well, if you had to describe it to me.
I don't know.
Ever, bubbly?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Probably.
Uncross your arms. Close your eyes. Quick. Like Bonnie, we have to keep going.
Oh, I think that's supposed
Close
to
your
be
eyes.
8.
Yep. Take a deep breath in. Notice that you can feel that new way first and then see yourself doing it now. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yes? Mm-hmm. Good. Come back to now. Cool.
Oh, cigarette after that, huh? Gonna need it. Make sure it's not menthol.
Wait, those are the best.
Yeah, they're
It's
trying.
gonna be
They're trying
illegal
to.
soon.
Let me
They're
break
trying
that
to
down for you
abandon
real
Wait,
quick, guys.
menthol's going to be illegal?
Yeah, because they say
There's aluminum in them.
Well, no, that's another reason. Go ahead. Sorry.
I only smoke when I drink once in
and
a
plus
while.
they have foreskin. So, what? You with me? Okay. So now notice right now the situation that's been created, and a lot of the situation has been facilitated by Glenn, is that I have leverage with people that are familiar to me and have actually seen me play a little bit of grab ass just to keep everything loose. But still, the leverage is there for them to follow me through the process completely, right? Every time Cass looks at me like that, I think she has something else on her mind.
What's on your mind, Cass?
It's the barber downstairs.
Absolutely.
So think of casual leverage.
Kunta Kinte.
Just
Dude, honestly, did you just fucking yell that?
We're gonna
Yeah, I did.
cut that out.
What did she say?
You got to cut that out.
I'm surprised I haven't
What
been
I
banned
said?
from.
Yeah. what
No,
you
no,
said.
no. That's from. It's from
Yeah.
Coming to America. That was Eddie Murphy. That was his line as the Jewish guy. And I said it to
my
him.
kids watched that.
I said it to him a couple of times. He started laughing because he saw the sequel. Josh, you got to relax. Just like these ladies were relaxing.
I'm
under
seeing my
hypnosis.
professional life flash
Yeah.
before my
Goes
eyes.
spiraling down the toilet.
That's right. That's right.
So
It's funny
casual
stuff.
leverage,
It's all funny.
it really does come from affect, right? A casual affect of where you feel most comfortable in your mind, well, mostly your heart and your belly and your physiology and your body.
Inside the belly or what?
Yeah, inside the body, from the inside out. So
The belly button.
the belly
That's
button from
funny.
the inside. So, and that's where it comes from. And that's where you find that you're most comfortable in your own skin, in your own shoes, and you build off of that. And then when you have leverage, it's easy for you to pass on what you need to for people that improve their position, improve their life. Casual leverage happens a lot when people do realize, and I say this over and over again, and I have heard some criticism from it, that literally everybody has a 10 in them, right? If you want to just grade it on looks or energy or sexiness or sex appeal or anything you want to do, everybody has 10 in them, and you just got to let it come to you. It's in there,
Confidence.
waiting for you, waiting to wake up.
Ladies, what do
The
you think?
decision, the point of chance, the time that you make sense of all this.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
you actually let it wake up right now. What would it be like if you let that wake up right now and follow my voice into even an enhanced amount of leverage and sexiness? An enhanced amount. Enhancing your future.
I mean, that's something that we talked about earlier was that, everybody has that capacity. They just need to know what their assets are. I need to wake that up.
So for the people that have the actual courage to do it, because she is very intimidating to a lot of people and she doesn't even realize it. She doesn't do it on purpose. If you speak to Michelle, she will actually push you in that direction rather than get catty. She actually literally pushes people towards exactly who they want to be. She doesn't get catty at all. That's my point. You know? So just a thought for everybody.
And
This
that's
is
the thought,
Michelle.
too. Like, you were nervous about us meeting each other.
I was nervous about two people with the type of sex appeal you have sitting that close together on that side of the table.
Well, it seems,
think- I think
seems to
the
be
chemistry's
working.
good.
I think we're
Yeah, you
good.
should be afraid of something else, I think.
No, yeah, right.
What should I be afraid of?
Yeah, what should Josh?
I'm
What should
joking.
Josh? Okay, she's joking.
Should I be afraid of Glenn's hand on my thigh? I'm just joking.
Yeah,
with
you
you.
should be.
Yes.
All right. Well, okay. But here's the thing, though. We're talking to two women who have obvious power
Yeah.
because they are very attractive, very sexy, and they celebrate their sexiness. They celebrate being a woman. As we were talking, I noticed a couple of women that are average looking. They still have that power. We talked about that earlier. Is that because we're dogs? Is that because women have an advantage because they have that advantage over us because
I mean-
we're so sexed out, or are we all human when it comes right down to it?
If you wrap your identity in getting admiration up in, okay, let me say that again.
Yeah.
If a person wraps their identity up in the admiration or attention they get from women, they are dogs.
Yeah.
And
you
then
know,
the women can make them do whatever they want.
and then there's also the women out there that feel embarrassed or ashamed of getting that sort of sexual attention. They feel like it's a bad thing. They want to be recognized for their intellect or anything else. So they try to downplay.
It's
their
not my
femininity.
40-inch ass, it's my brain.
Yeah,
I wish you
that's
liked me for
it.
my brain.
Well, maybe he could like you for both. That's the whole point.
There you
is you
go.
can have both.
So if you guys remember, there's a movie called, this is actually going to tie into the next episode, a movie called PCU.
Yeah, I
PCU
saw it.
stands for Politically Correct University. It was an amazing, amazing job because they actually told the future.
Yeah, it did.
1993, I believe.
That's a long time ago.
That's 28 years ago.
I agree.
So it's funny at the end.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's a good movie.
Good luck finding it.
Yeah.
I found
Yeah.
a copy on Amazon. It was $122 for the DVD.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a free cinema app on my.
I mean, we tried to find it on all the streaming services and YouTube and everything else. We couldn't find it.
It's probably because of the message.
Really?
So it's
They
cool.
must have banned
Jeremy
it.
Piven is it, and I love Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
But it's a bunch of normal guys that just don't do politically correct things. They do
Right.
things that normal college kids want to do. And at the end, they have a concert, and it's called Everybody Gets Laid. Everybody Gets Laid. And everybody is invited to the concert because they needed to raise money for one thing or another. All the different groups.
Right.
So you had the black nationalists, you
Right.
had the lesbians, you
Right.
had the vegans. And it's cool because there's a portion in that movie.
They still have vegans.
Back then they had vegans.
Yeah. 93.
Wow.
So they had a portion of the movie where they snuck
Gotta
into
have
the
meat.
cafeteria and stole a bunch of meat
Right.
and then threw it. And they even had a
was funny.
foreshadowing of how currently that people manipulate those groups that are all wrapped up in one or two causes. And the woman who actually just passed.
She just died.
She just died.
Yeah, she
So
was the dean.
The dean. She
Gorgeous
actually
woman.
revealed
Beautiful.
the true hidden intentions of the administration with those people and manipulating them to cause problems so
Right.
they could have more control over the campus. But the end of the concert at the end was called "Everybody Gets Laid."
Isn't that- yeah.
George Clinton was in it.
Yeah, George Clinton. And then one guy wanted
P-Funk.
I want a keg of beer. He was trying to get a keg of beer. Well, actually, I'm confusing that with Teen Wolf, but that's neither here
Oh no,
nor
that's
there.
right. That's right. Because he thought that lady was saying, "Will you blow me where the Pampers is?"
Yeah, yeah.
And it was John. What's his name? John.
I don't know,
He's
man.
famous director.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Holmes?
He was in Swingers. No,
Yeah. No, yeah, he is famous.
Holmes.
But when the dean said you threw out 200 pounds of meat, he said, "Oh, that was way over 200 pounds. What are you talking about?" It
And
was
hey,
funny.
listen, the only reason that people become vegan is because Scientology didn't get to them first.
Isn't that interesting?
or CrossFit. So here's the point with leverage, right? And knowing that you have leverage and being confident in the fact that people are going to follow through with what you ask them to do. And creating a presence is that, all the things in the moment, and everybody has them, all the worries, all the emotions, all the past experiences, all the expectations that are unconscious kind of go by the wayside because all your conscious energy is in the moment, outside of yourself, and being able to gauge what needs to happen next. And people will follow you. And here's my challenge to you, to everybody, is can you see yourself first creating this persona, like really exploring yourself to the best version, or a very good version of yourself, an improved version of yourself. And when you do, can you bring that forward and allow people to benefit from who you are? And naturally, it's much like respect and love. Naturally, when you're focused on other people's benefit, you're just going to naturally benefit back. Just when you give respect, eventually you're going to get it back. When you focus on giving love and respect and other things that are fun like that, like love and respect. And
So what happens when you give it and give it and give it and you don't feel it come back?
Yeah.
I would say that
Good point.
you're still focused on it not coming back, like an expectation.
Everybody needs a certain amount of things, right?
Oh, I would
to-
agree,
to
100%.
function.
So, I would agree 100%. So the thing is, somewhere behind, in the background of somebody running that strategy, it just seems like their own receiving is the main thesis of that. That's what I would say in the clinic. Or if I was, one of our other clinicians or trainers. So casual leverage. It's natural for you to exercise and become your best self so you can help folks along, so you can go through life confidently with perspective and receive what you need to in order to continue to thrive. I feel like this microphone is going in and out.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it is. I think you need to stay nice and close to it.
No, I can see the meter. It's still,
okay.
It still registers.
It's
yeah.
not coming in the headphones. So that's my point. And that's casual leverage. And it's something you can all have. And nobody does it exactly the same way. But if you go through the same process, you will become more of who you are intended to be.
Ladies, Cass, we haven't heard from you in a while.
I'm just listening.
That's cool. Because honestly, I mean, as we talk about this is very fascinating with what Josh says. He knows a lot. He deals with a lot of people. But I've said this before. I'll say it again. I always thought that what Josh does was just strictly for people trying to quit smoking or lose weight. So it's a lot more than that, Josh. I'm learning.
It's a lot more. If you think about it, it's kind of all the same issue at the core.
So in the movie Copland,
Yeah.
so they treat Sylvester Stallone
Terrible movie, by the way.
I've never even seen it.
with good themes. I mean, good actors, good themes, bad script. So Ray Liotta sits across from him, who ends up being the big villain, and says, listen, if you know where somebody's going, you can follow them from the front. And that's the exact reason why we explore tendencies and rhythms and strategies in people's behavior, so we know where they're going to go next, and when they need it interrupted and it changed, we can help them do it. We did it live today a couple times. So casual leverage. If you're more interested in casual leverage than you thought, and you're ready to improve your life, I challenge you to dare to call me. Call our clinics at 315-432-1514. Or for our friends in the Fountain City for Power and Light Hypnosis, 816-357-8778. Green eyes is giving me doe eyes. I must have said something right.
You must have said something right or wrong.
Or wrong. Yeah, that's not the wrong look. I got that one earlier, by the way. I don't know if that's on camera or not.
Michelle would be good at playing cards because I have no idea what's going through
Are
her
you
mind
kidding me?
Yeah.
No, I totally wear it all
All
out
you
on
got-
my sleeve.
all you got to do, just
I'm a bad card player.
spend the 48 hours with her. You'll get it.
You probably don't even remember me, but I walked by you guys
At the casino, he told me that you were
at the casino.
I think I was wearing this shirt.
You were wearing that shirt. I had the sweater dress on. It was
Oh, I had a freaking
skin.
ball gown, black ball gown.
Yeah.
Are you serious? You guys actually did see each other before? Or you
She
making
saw
this-
us, but she didn't say anything.
I've never met him a
Okay.
day in my life. I
Right.
just saw him through like pictures and whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's Josh.
Wow, small world, Josh.
She was
returning.
That
just
was
like
my
many
birthday,
people.
and I got lit.
Just like many people, she was watching the podcast religiously. She was subscribing and watching every Wednesday at 7 p.m. She
Absolutely.
recognized us
Right.
as minor celebrities.
Right.
Well,
And
how
she
did you
wanted
not
to say hi.
recognize the two of you guys?
Well, everybody knows Glenn,
Well, so that I haven't been to the Turning Stone in my life. I'd love to go down there.
Really?
the sports book.
Yeah, I've
is
never
great.
been there. No, I would only go to the sports book because I'm terrible at everything else, and I'm terrible at sports.
How about people
too.
watching?
I could
Yeah.
watch people.
I'm about people watching.
All I want to look at,
Clearly.
and my wife would kill me for saying this, is the best part of going to Vegas is just looking at cocktail waitresses and looking at their ass cheeks hanging out. That's all, and tits. That's
Is that really
and
gonna
that's
be on
free.
the air?
Yeah. No, it won't. Be. but it just
If
did.
you get it, flaunt it.
Love you guys.
All right, so folks, this was the 5th or 6th edition of the Get Real podcast with Josh Kirnie, hosted by myself, Glenn Curry here, along with these two very beautiful ladies, Michelle and Cass, and we'll find out more about them in future episodes, right, Josh?
I believe so. We're going to have some fun with the Get Real broadcast. I'm sorry. I don't have to do that again. The Get Real podcast with Joshua Kirnie, hosted by Glenn Curry.
No big deal, but that's
And
okay.
we're going to continue with our series on making this change and creating a life for yourself casually, making it casual and normal and feeling good.
Ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
which is awesome because, at first we didn't think this chemistry would work, Josh, but obviously the chemistry's worked very well today.
It didn't suck.
It didn't suck at all. Okay. Everyone, thanks for watching, and look for more. And just, remember to like, link, share, and all that other stuff for the Get Real podcast with Josh Kirnie. And thanks again. I'm Glenn Curry, signing off here from the top of the public square, overlooking public square here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. You have a great weekend.